Recently, while listening to a speech by Elon Musk, where he shared some very interesting things about how artificial intelligence will completely change our lives in the next 10 years, he focused on one very important detail, and I want to share it with you today. AI really will change the world globally very soon. Professions, jobs, salaries, literally everything will change. This won't be a slow change like back when computers appeared, for example, because back then they first invented the hardware, and then for many years they built the foundation for how to use it, creating databases, the internet, and so on. Only then did we begin to fully utilize computers. Now the foundation exists, and artificial intelligence is being built on an already finished base. And according to Musk, we're talking about 5, maybe 7 years at most. The world will change completely, but it's not just how we work that will change, but also how and where we live. Imagine that today you were offered a job. The salary is $80,000 a year. Just 10 years ago, most people would have asked themselves the main question: where is the office located? But very soon the question will sound different. From which country will I be able to do this work? In the past, we primarily evaluated whether you could reasonably commute to the office. Soon you'll be looking at the question from a completely different perspective, whether it's actually possible to do this job from wherever you prefer to live. This is exactly where one of the most significant and transformative changes that artificial intelligence will bring to our lives will truly begin. Everyone talks about how AI will replace millions of jobs, but almost no one talks about how AI will change the map of the world. Because for the first time in history, a huge number of people will no longer be tied to a district, city, or country. A lot has already changed since the pandemic. Many have started working remotely, but recently it's true, a significant number of workers, especially in the public sector, have returned to offices, but that's only because for now, in many specialties, working from home is less effective. But there are also a large number of specialties where it's exactly the opposite, and the implementation of artificial intelligence technologies will very soon make remote work much more effective in most professions where it's even possible to work remotely. Now imagine two identical people. Both earn $80,000 a year, both work remotely, but the first lives in Toronto or New York, and the second, for example, in the Dominican Republic. In North America, after taxes and mandatory expenses, a significant portion of income goes toward rent or a mortgage, transportation, utilities, insurance, and daily expenses. Many people with an income of $80,000 live very modestly today and carefully count every penny. The one living in the Dominican Republic with that same income opens their laptop in the morning with a view of palm trees or the ocean. After work, no time wasted in traffic jams, just the beach instead. Instead of 5 months of winter, there's sun almost all year round. Expenses for many everyday things are several times lower. Most importantly, it's not just the budget that changes, it's the lifestyle. It's no longer a question of money, it's a question of quality of life. That's why I believe that artificial intelligence will very soon significantly change real estate markets in different countries. Previously, the main factor was proximity to work. Today, in many professions, this is gradually becoming a thing of the past. Of course, cities aren't going anywhere, as there are many professions where remote work is simply impossible. Nevertheless, the process of change has already begun. People are starting to choose their place of residence based on completely different criteria. Where the climate is better, where it's safer, where the quality of life is higher, where children can spend more time outdoors, where you want to wake up every morning, where there are organic products. That's why I believe that in the next 10 years we will see a new very large wave of relocation. It's inevitable because millions of people are getting the chance to live where they actually want to for the first time. Some will choose Portugal, some Panama, some Costa Rica, some small islands in the Caribbean, some the Dominican Republic. And in my opinion, the Dominican Republic has many advantages here. As time goes on, real estate in highly desirable locations will eventually stop being cheap, and tax havens simply won't be as sweet. All these factors influence relocation today. Tomorrow, the single most important thing will be the overall comfort of your life. People will strive to live here, and their value will only increase. Cheap, on the contrary, will be exactly where no one strives to live. Where it's expensive today, where the climate is bad, where the roads are broken, where there are traffic jams. Today, these are expensive locations precisely because there's a lot of work and everyone strives to live there. In the future, this will change because people will finally be able to choose where to live and will stop being tied to a place where they need to be for work. I'm not saying this will happen instantly or that it will suit everyone. There are professions that cannot be moved to a remote format. There are families held back by parents or their own business and much more. But the changes will affect millions of people worldwide, and there aren't that many comfortable places on Earth. If your personal income no longer depends on being tied to a specific city, then millions of people all around the world will start asking themselves which country they truly want to wake up in every single morning. It is artificial intelligence that, for the first time in history, will give millions of people the opportunity to answer it not with dreams, but with real actions. See you next time on the channel.